Assalamu Alaikum everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are looking for a quality cash producing growth oriented company, then the company that we're looking at today might be an interest to you. It might be a great addition to your overall portfolio, and the company we're talking about today is Qualcomm. Qualcomm is actually a chip maker. It actually involves in making things like wireless products, including network equipment, broadband gateway equipment, consumer electronic devices like mobile phones and so on. And when you look at overall the products that they some of their products is actually including mobile phones, including iPhones, the laptops, virtual and augmented reality, automotive, wearables, audio, networking, Internet of Things, cameras, smartphone, smart homes. Any of these technologies that you see around every single day will probably have a chip that was basically made by Qualcomm. They are currently, I think it's about $160 billion company. There you go, $160 billion company, currently trading 142 per share. Beta is slightly higher than the market. Anything above 1 is quite volatile. PE, you can see really nice PE, about less than 20 or 18%, which is excellent. EPS of $8, and then you've got about almost 2% dividend to actually hold this company. So while you're holding this, you will get, for every share that you own, you will get paid $2.72 of this company. So that's what they will pay you if you are holding, basically, say if you had 10 stocks and each one of those stocks, basically what you will get that much. Right, so the first thing we're going to look at their financials and to see if this company it actually is good investment. And as you can see here, it was going the right direction up until 2020. So the total revenue, and then you've got the cost of the revenue actually is kind of going up. Now, when it comes to operating expenses and things like that, these companies actually will spend a lot of money because of the market, because the research and development that they have to carry out every year. But still, to have this going up, where the gross profit to go up like this is absolutely brilliant. And as you can see, the trailing 12 months is almost $19.8 billion. And as you can see here, we've got the net income. So from 2.4, I think they must have had some sort of a write-off. So sometimes companies will have a lot of debt. They will pay that debt off. So that's probably why this has happened. And then it would bounce back to $2.3 billion, like to $5.1 billion, to currently about $9.2 billion. And the fact is, a lot of the chip making based companies or semiconductor companies will definitely benefit from the shortage that's going on at the moment, and I'm sure Qualcomm will be one of those companies. Let's now have a look at the balance sheet. So the balance sheet, you're looking for the assets against liabilities, so current asset, current liabilities. So 43 to 17 to 16 to 18, so of current liabilities. So this is their current liabilities, and when we look at their current assets against their current liabilities of only $8.6 billion. So they've got enough money to actually pay this off if anything happens to the company. And again, the another thing I like to see is the share issues, for example. So you want the company to be buying back their own shares. You don't want to be issuing more shares if you like. So, and as you can see, they're actually buying back their own shares. So share issued is actually going less instead of basically becoming less and less, instead of basically giving you, basically diluting the shares that you already own, which is brilliant to see. Now we're going to look at cash flow here. And as you can see, from $4 billion to 3, and then to 6.3 to 4, and then currently about $9.3 billion. So that is absolutely great balance sheet, great income sheet, great cash flow. So that is what we want to see. When it comes to the growth of the company, let's see what the Yahoo analysts are saying at the moment in terms of the growth estimate. Okay, so next year, okay, current year, they're expecting it to grow 97%, which is crazy. And then next year about 11.7, that's a bit more realistic. And the next 5 years, the expectation is 32% growth, which is really, really good. This is bar with Microsoft, is the Apples, the big tech companies are out there, and because the semiconductors are actually very innovative companies, and right now there's a massive shortage. Even was it Ford that actually came out a couple of days ago that were complaining about the shortage still. So a lot of the car makers can't even basically have produce the cars, and because of that, basically second-hand cars are going up because the companies are not producing anymore basically any cars because they don't have the chips to actually make these things, right? So that is basically overall what Yahoo Finance are saying at the moment. Quickly, let's have a look in terms of a buy on hold. You can see is currently a buy. You can see 3 strong buys. You can see 7 buys as well, so together 10, but overall is a buy. Lows they're saying is 150, is currently trading at 142, so it's even lower than their lows here. Then you've got average of 180, almost 2, and then you've got highs of 303. Now these are just estimates that came from these people here that work for all different companies, Morgan Stanley and so on. So again, when you look in these things, you have to obviously, sometimes they might have an interest in the company or whatever it is, you have to also be careful. So you have to check with other companies, and one of the companies that I've been using lately is the tip rank, for example, and as you can see, their average is 186, their highs 225, their lows 148, and it's currently trading 142. So even then is actually the lows is even cheaper than the lows at the moment. And when you look at some of the analysts that have actually looked at this, you can see Deutsche Bank, for example, are saying this got about 33% upside. So every single one of these basically people that have said this has an upside, even the ones that are basically saying is 148, still have about on said hold, they still have an upside of 3.7. And yeah, so you can see everyone is kind of bullish on this company, and they actually think it has a more upside. And then when you look at the Morningstar, they currently saying the fair value is 136. Currently was close to yesterday, I think 142. So it's slightly higher than basically where they wanted it to be. Again, they are very moderate, these guys, and I like that because that kind of gives you some sort of a margin of safety. And when we look at the dividends, actually dividend safety according simply safe dividend is about 80, which is very safe. And like I said to you earlier, that when you look at their overall dividends, okay, I think it was almost a 2% dividend that you get, and this is a technology company that is actually providing you like almost a growth of 11% and then 32% in the next 5 years, and they're paying you about 2% dividend, and it's actually undervalued at the moment. And when you look at their PE, okay, is almost about 18, which is very very cheap in comparison to what's going on in the market at the moment. And the other thing I like as well, when you look at the PEG ratio, it actually tells you is actually cheap, okay, the PEG ratio. And then you look at their profit margin of 28%, and then you've got return on equity of 160%. So it's really a solid company, a company that I think are in basically some amazing industries. And the other thing I like about this company is they have a patent on a lot of their platforms. So the mobile technologies, the laptop technologies, all of them, they have so hundreds of different patents, and other companies can start producing their own, but they then have to pay for the patent, so they can't just take it. So that again is a moat, what I like to call a moat. In fact, when you look at it, it says narrow, but I completely disagree, because there's not that many companies that basically has economic moat as basically what Qualcomm has. Because if you think about it in terms of licensing, they hold those licenses. Nobody else can actually produce this until those patents are over. So the company's key patents, okay, are very, very important. And even though they still have 4 years contract left with Apple, if Apple decides to design their own chips, they still have to get the paid for the patent, because they can't obviously they can't just produce it because they hold the patent. So again, it's a very solid company. I just wanted to quickly share. I do own I think about 9 or 10 shares of this company. I kind of neglected it for a while, so I will be buying in the next few weeks hopefully, and I'll see how that goes. But currently my average is in pounds, I'm 102 pounds, but you can see currently 137 is my average, and currently trading 142. So if I buy more, obviously I'm averaging it up, but I don't mind that, because when you're looking at the analysts and what they're coming up, I still have a margin of safety. If what they're saying is remotely through, even if it goes to 150s or 170s, I will still be basically obviously my averages will still be going down, so it should be absolutely fine in terms of that. So it's not up as much. I mean, it went down last a couple of days. Like I said, it's quite volatile stock, so it goes down and up very quickly. So at one point it was almost £70, but it kind of went down. In a way, it might be a good thing for me to actually start buying in more in the next couple of weeks. So that's the company that I wanted to share with you guys. I'm also doing a portfolio update some point today or tomorrow, and I'll share that with you. I've made quite a few changes to the portfolio, so look out for that, and inshallah I'll see you soon. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe, like, and you let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate every question because it's really helping me. You know, last few weeks a lot of brothers and sisters have asked me a lot of questions, and then I had to go away and do a little bit of research and find out, and you know, and that really helped me, because and I'll share that with you when I do the next video. Definitely I will share that with you on what happened. I made a mistake, and I will also share that with you. So look out for the next video, inshallah. Assalamu Alaikum. Take care, everyone.